Yo, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the Piper Academy Network. I am Army Piper, and you are the alumni, and I'm very appreciative to have you guys here. It is Trump Inauguration Day. Bitcoin set a new all-time high overnight. Trump coin dumped. Melania coin pumped. Is Barron coin next? All these questions and more today on the Morning Market Report, guys. Let's get it. Class is in session. Good morning to everyone and welcome to the show here. This is the Morning Market Report where we break down the news, the technical analysis, the macroeconomic, and all the headlines that you need in order to make some money in this market because knowledge is profit. It looks like I'm a little delayed. I'm going to have to reset my camera, but while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my co-host today. It's the OC guy. What's up, dude?
Not much, dude. Fantastic. Yesterday I had a chance to buy the dip. In fact, I bought it twice. Within that little time that we had the 4 hours.
That's called double dipping.
We are rocking. Yeah, that is called double dipping. Yes.
OC double dipping over there. Yeah, it was really good pullback yesterday. Matter of fact, we hit the trend line that we were talking about last week. And I'm going to continue to talk while I reset the camera here. But let's go ahead and bring up your chart, and you'll see that there was a trend line from the high that we made back here on the 17th of December. We had a nice trend line running down, and yesterday was a perfect OC retest. So let's go ahead and bring up your chart and show that while I reset this camera, and we'll jump over to your charts.
Absolutely. So just pasting these things here. Oh, I see I have a mistake here on my camera. Guys, let me fix this. All right, perfect, much better. And I'm transparent. So we were talking about this little range here on my charts. And look at that, we have the springing here, we also took advantage of, and then we have the pullback, right? Remember that pullback? Well, then it just so happened like with one single candle, look at that, we went all the way back down there. I did enter twice, right here once, one here, the second one, and I just took some profits. This is based on the 15 minutes charting here that I see that we are retracing a little bit. We are following this trend line right down here, and despite we have a beautiful breakthrough, I'm gonna still waiting for maybe a visit off the lows or at least a breakout retest, and off you go. This is gonna be my next entry, but so far this is what I traded. Look at that, entry price 103, last price 107. Basically from, what is it, 103 right here. From here, in why is it, see if I bought here, why is it my entry was somewhere around here? Well, that is because I had an open order, or I did had an open order far back right there that I was waiting for. So I just added to it instead of changing it. And why is that? Because of the coin that I was using, USDC here. Let me see if I can bring this up very quickly. Let's pull this up. This is my bot account. This is what I traded it. So you know my bot is still on profits, and you can see, oh my bad, there we go. I have a sold here, I have a bought here, and then I have my two entries right down here. Look at that, right there and right there. As you can see, they are pretty spot on. And finally, I took my profits, which there's nowhere to be seen, but I can guarantee you that they were taken right here. You can see it on my chart image right there. So that's what I took them. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Well, not that much, but if you were alerted with the alert that we had right here on top of the channel, you would have been entering on those areas. Other than that, Piper, let me know if you're ready to rock and roll, or if I just move on into what
I'm back, bro. I'm back. I fixed that camera. That was quick.
Nice.
Yeah, we're good to go. You fixed your camera. I fixed my camera. Let's go. So yeah, we were talking this weekend in our Discord about Trump coin, because if you hadn't seen the X post, I paid off my car Saturday morning. That I just bought. My 2025 Genesis GV80 that I bought in September got paid off on Trump coin Saturday morning. So shout out to Trump for that. Yeah, crazy trade. Did not have time to put it out, but I did in the morning, and then we still did some playing around with it on the leverage side. Buck was total degen and up and down on that thing. The volatility is nuts, guys. we got to talk about what's happening today, though. It's Inauguration Day. Markets are closed today for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Just happens to fall on Inauguration Day today, also. So, federal holiday and Inauguration Day, TradFi markets closed, which means typical low volume, right? Just like on a normal weekend, we have that low volume that does not exist on like the rest of the week. And so, today being a federal holiday and the regular markets closed, you have the possibility of a lot of volatility today. So I want to talk about what that volatility could look like today, where Bitcoin could be heading to, and some of the headline stuff that I'm watching on X that everyone needs to know about. But let's jump over to. I want to jump over to get into where we are in the risk sentiment today, and then we'll also jump over and talk about the Bitcoin chart and where I'm watching for it to go. So let's go there. Let's go to news. All the news is fit to be news, guys. Looking at our risk boards today, guys, we are currently sitting right now. Risk indicators summary is about 4.84. Price, we're at risk band 5, so 50% risk. You consider 100% risk being the most risky of them all. And then on-chain metrics is at 60% risk right now. Social media risk is 0.3 of 30%. Looking here at the current risk level for Bitcoin, we're at a 60% risk rate right now. I want to show you, though, if you jump in on this and take a look, its current confidence level is 9, meaning that it's got high confidence of higher highs coming, but it is at the 60% risk level. So be aware of that. We do a lot of stuff with this on how do we DCA in our community, and that session will be today for the VIP, for the upperclassmen. So we'll be talking a lot about this with all these different tokens in here so that you guys can let me know what you want to set your DCA plan up on, and we're breaking that all down today. What else was there that I wanted to take a look at in here? X marks the spot. Let's go here. So X marks the spot, guys. Current Bitcoin dominance right now is at 57.6% for Bitcoin. The CMC Fear and Greed Index is currently at 58. This is the total crypto market. But if we jump back over here and we take a look at the Fear and Greed Index that we're seeing here on our Into the Cryptoverse, guys, we're at a 77. Nope. That is the 19th. That is the 20th. Let's go here and get the 20th. We are sitting right now at a fear and greed index of 76. We're in extreme greed right now, so be careful. You can see every time we start to hit up into those bright greens, we do get pullbacks. We're almost there. That risk level on that is at a 76, and those green levels start to come in at 80. So we're almost into the high fear and greed of the extreme fear, extreme greed levels. So keep that in mind and be aware. Be aware. What else do we got in here today? Yeah, don't forget to miss this today. I already saw Alexander G dropped a link in there. Crypto Coin Mindset is in the chat right now. So is Trade Intuition. Bingo, bango to all of you. BC Port Corp, myself, Keith, if I'm over there at Crypto Coin Mindset, Crypto Princess, who I just did a show with yesterday. That video is going to be coming out, part 1 of it, soon. She's going to be joining us from London, England, and then Trade Intuition, Bingo Bango, in-house, all are going to be there today. It's going to be a panel, starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about what is going on in crypto and what the policies, regulation coming could mean for the entire space. Jumping into the crypto bubbles, guys, give this a refresh, and let's check it out. On the daily, we are looking pretty red right now. You see Trump down 18.2%. Melania is up 15.8%. So kind of interesting there that all the money dumped out of Trump and into Melania. Got to pull up, is Baron Coin next? One of the people on here actually talked about that on X. Let me go and check this out. Where is you at? Yeah, Trump phase 1, Trump coin. Flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing price surge. Phase overlap, money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Didn't happen. Money flowed into Solana. Phase 2, Melania. Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. I'm not sure that this is the old phase overlaps. This is how they used to work, but now we have phase 1, Trump, phase 2, Melania, phase 3, Baron Coin, phase 4, Eric phase. So pretty interesting that they've now added the Trumps into the money flow for altcoin season. Baron Coin would be interesting if I want to tell you guys, be careful. If there is a Baron coin that comes out, make sure it's not somebody using his name and just throwing out a coin, because that would not be that would be a really good way to wreck a lot of people on a rug pull on a non Trump related actual token. Did I miss something here in the chat? Let me jump over here to the chat real fast and we'll continue on in the news. What's up? Are you eating OC? There you go. Join Piper Cast exclusive. 2 dub in the house. Wick's wife fine 89. I saw Eric Wallen say something, and then someone said, "Poor Eric." I was just making sure. Eric will be launched on ADA because he's the lamest. Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe so. Let's jump back over to the news, man. All right. So looking here. Guys, another thing I wanted to show, Trump token. Look at this dump when Melania got launched. Massive dump all the way up from like $76 down to 43. I think it went a little bit lower than that. I'm going to do some TA on it today. Yes, you can do TA on a new meme coin, as unlike in dispute of what I've seen on X from people. So Dylan VA, what's up, man? How you doing? Solana network congestion, guys. We had a lot of this weekend. A lot of people were complaining about Solana. Bitcoin is too slow. ETH gas fees are too high. Solana network gets congested. What's the solution? Guys, there was billions and billions of dollars moving in and out of the Solana network at the same time. You got to remember when they were selling all those transactions on Trump and buying all those transactions on Melania at the same time. That's pretty massive for anyone to handle. Mind you, Visa probably could do it. But yeah, it was still a ton of transactions going on there without a bunch of people involved. It just auto happens, you know? It auto magically occurs. What else do we have here? Bitcoin historical price. Let me see here. Okay. Oh yeah, this picture, this chart you guys saw of the Simpsons Trump head that was on the thumbnail. That's actually a 3-minute chart of the Trump coin turned sideways. No joke. That was a real thing. So there's your Donald Trump in candles right there. It's a sign. It was a sign. All right, let's go and continue on with the news here, guys. Looking at the crypto bubbles, Trump down 16.9 right now. Melania Trump up 16.8 right now on the daily. Let's go see where Bitcoin's currently at. It's at 107,597 right now, up 2.4%. Ethereum flat on the day at $3,300. XRP's at $3.30, just below that, up 5.3% on the daily. Solana coin down 4.3%. It had a really nice rally. It's at $256 per token right now. Had a really, really good rally on the backs of the Trump coin. So it is the Trump's face. Wix Wi-Fi 89 2 dub. That was Trump's face on the 3-minute chart on the candles. I can't make this up. BNB down 0.7%. Dogecoin down 2.5% at 37 cents. We got Cardano flat and even at $1.06, turning into a stable coin. Right now, it looks like Chainlink up 6%. Tron's up 2.9%. Sui losing a position down to number 14, down 4.1%. Might look for a good support range for a pump on that, in my opinion. Just one humble man's opinion. Toncoin down 0.4% at $5.09. Shiba Inu is down 1.9. Official Trump coin right there. Guys, the official Trump coin is in the top 20. What in the hell? This is blowing my mind. It's down 17.1%. It's at 51, just below $52 right now. Polkadot is sitting there at 2.5% on the downside of $6.60. And rounding out the top, it's Litecoin at up 0.5% at $121.44. Total liquidations in the past 24 hours, guys. Let's go talk about this. In the past 24 hours, 315,164 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $1.01 billion. Largest single liquidation was on Bitcoin for $15.2 million. So yeah, $1 billion in liquidations in the past 24 hours. No. There is nothing weird anymore, username. Rib chat is normal. Rib chat's completely normal, and meme coins from presidents is it's a thing. It's the trend. Let's go. Let's go look at the economic calendar here this week, guys. We got inauguration day today, federal holiday, no markets open, no federal data coming out today. Wednesday, January 22nd, we're going to get the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. It's currently at 7.09. We'll see what it comes in at tomorrow and how good of a deal LBC got on his house when he bought it when he did. Initial jobless claims coming in tomorrow. Right now, it looks like they're projected on consensus and forecast to be up either 1,000 or 2,000 unemployment claims this week, higher than previous week. We'll see how that comes in. What else do we have? Friday, January 24th. There we go. We're going to have existing home sales coming in, and the Michigan consumer sentiment. It looks like the Michigan consumer sentiment is dropping. It looks like home sales month over month may be down. Yeah, and the home sales and home sales month over month should be down according to consensus and forecast this week. Now, looking at next week. Next week's where we have a lot of U.S. data coming in. Super chat from Retro Mike Tech. RMT gave $10 super chat. He said, can we take a look at virtuals if you have the time for a marginal mod? Yeah, absolutely. OC, can you go ahead and pull up virtuals, and I will too. And then while you do yours, I'll pull up mine to see if we see anything on that, because virtuals getting kind of spanked right now. So if you can pull that up, that would be great. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech. Appreciate you, bro. And $10 super chat. So yeah, next week, guys, we're going to get on the 27th, we're going to get some new data also that's coming in. We're going to get that FOMC. That's the big one. Wednesday, January 29th, rate decision. Right now, currently projected to be no increase right now. 99.5% chance that next week, no change on the FOMC's Fed rate. Now, so we got GDP, we got all this stuff, right? Right now, it looks like GDP is dropping hard. That's a reason to drop the markets, really. If this comes in low like that, it could drop the markets. The rate decision next week being flat. Hey, we're not going to cut rates. That's a signal to investors that inflation's there, right? So that could be a reason to pull the markets down. And then core PCE on Friday, January 31st, another reason to pull the markets down. You can see they're looking at it being higher, 0.3%. That's 0.2% higher. This core PCE could be another reason. So now, what I want to talk about, though, that is the most immediate target. We got to look at what is the close range target, right? We're not worried about the guy 250 meters away so much as we are the guy that's right in the room with us, right? And that is going to be Japan. And that is going to be coming out here on the 23rd, January 23rd, Thursday, 8 p.m. my time. This is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put this in your calendar. Set your alerts. Set your alarms. This is going to be the Bank of Japan's interest rate decision. And as of right now, it is looking like it's going to be 25 basis points higher. They are projected to be doing a rate hike. If you guys don't remember, the last time we had a rate hike from them, we had a pullback. Actually, first when they went from being negative to being net, zero, right? We had an 18.6% pullback. When they did their 25 basis point rate hike back in August, we had a 25.6% drop in the markets right there. So keep that in mind. That is a serious thing that the investing world watches. It would be Japanese carry trade part 2 unraveling. So when we have that type of info coming out, I just want you guys to be aware. A lot of things coming in the next 2 weeks that could dump these markets could end up being a Trump by the rumors, sell the news market event. Looking at this, though, how the stocks and gold and Bitcoin fared in the first 100 days of Trump's last presidency. Keep in mind, he was not very pro-Bitcoin at his last presidency, so we'll take this with a grain of salt on how Bitcoin did. But this is how everything fared in the first 100 days of his last cycle, his last term, when he was president last time. The sentiment around Trump's pro-business second term has been largely bullish. Benchmark of the S&P rising nearly 4% since the election. On Friday, the index jumped 2.9% for its its best weekly performance since early November. But that outperformance has not been reflective of the current uncertainty looming over the market. Investors have been debating whether the market can continue its bull run in the face of expected tariffs, a waning rate cut cycle, which we just talked about, and questions over the new administration regulatory policies, not to mention at all there that the, hey, that other thing, that Japanese carry trade that we just talked about. So I got a little line there. I don't know why I have a line on there. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. There's a little line on the news, and it's from my camera, but we're going to carry on. The outperformance has not been reflective of that local's late certainty there. Major U.S. indexes here going back January 22nd of his first term. You guys can see we pretty much had a nice rounded top, caught some support, up it goes, right? Actually ended up to the upside quite a bit. All three major indexes surged for the first 100 days of Trump's last term in 2017. S&P was up 5.3%. The Dow Jones was up 6.1%, and NASDAQ Composite popped 9.2%. But this time, investors are saying that the market may not experience another substantial rally. In contrast to Trump 1.0, we've seen S&P's 500 have 2 consecutive years of nearly 25% returns, and it's challenging to do that for a third, guys. It really is. It normally does not happen. When we have 2 back-to-back years, the next year is kind of meh. That's all it is. So ultimately, a pause in the rally makes sense at this point as investors wait to assess what this new administration might bring, talking about tariffs and things like that. I think investors in large part would likely take a wait-and-see attitude, and that's pretty apparent thus far this year. We're basically flat on the year for the TradFi side. Information sector rose 11.5% during Trump's first 100 days, while energy tumbled 8.2%. But so far this year, the energy sector is leading the market with a 9.2% gain. So a little bit of opposite play there on Trump's first 100 days last cycle compared to what we're heading into at this one. All three investors think that energy stocks could continue their dominance going forward. Supply and demand for energy product is much more balanced than what was reflected in the commodity prices, and energy is trading at very, very reasonable multiples and throwing off dividends, right? People like those dividends for that static earning. Passive income's a thing, right? We have to temper expectations that we're not going to see the same parabolic gains in alpha producing vehicle in the alpha producing vehicle that we saw in the last couple of years coming out of COVID, because they're not throwing billions of dollars in stimulus on them on top of it. So that is the thing too. Crude oil dropped, gasoline went up. But let's go down here and look at gold and Bitcoin. The price of gold rose 5%, while the price of Bitcoin rose more than 50% during the first 100 days of 2017 in Trump's presidency. All three investors think that gold will rise over the next 100 days as it did in 2017. Hogan cited geopolitical uncertainty as the catalyst for that, and gold has been able to rally in the face of the strong dollar and rising real estate rates. And that's why the voracious demand for central banks occurs with gold right now. If anything, if we start to tariff people, I think people will be more inclined to be buying gold. On the other hand, a more crypto-friendly administration and the broader acceptance of Bitcoin as an asset class could certainly continue to boost the flagship cryptocurrency's price. Hogan said Bitcoin extended its rally last week and topped the $100,000 level. Well, I got news for you there, Hogan. It extended that rally last night again, and it broke some pretty major levels. I want to go take a look at those. Let's get this liquidation heat map up here. I want to talk about this level first before we jump in, guys. But sitting here at $110,000, you can see we have a pretty massive heat line here on the map. Let's check out the 48-hour here. It starts to fade a little bit, and then look at the 3-day. We're kind of in a void right now, in between. Where do we get our next one at? Yeah, I think we're going to head up and hit that 110 first before we have any cool off and pullbacks, and then we should start pulling them around 108 and somewhere in the range of 102 for new heat zones below us. So the Hulkster, yes, Hulk Hogan, that's giving us financial advice, exactly it. But yeah, guys, that Bank of Japan, just don't forget about that. That is coming. Most analysts are leaning towards a January rate hike, and I just showed that on the economic calendar. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Bitcoin chart. And let's talk about what we're seeing on there with those levels of 110 on the heat map. And in addition, we've got those heat levels that that will be sitting down in that 102 range. So taking a look at this here on the Bitcoin 4 hour, you can see this, guys, you guys have had these boxes in our Discord for a while. These support and resistance zones have been on here. That's pretty much where we got our rejection last night, and we got our bounce this morning after rejection here on Saturday. So we had resistance, came down almost to our support box, up, rejection again, came down, and there's that trend line. You guys see that trend line right there? It's that one right there running down. That was our OC retest here this weekend. We gave this to you guys on Friday, and I told you on Friday that I was watching for 106. That's pretty much what we hit on the Friday live show. So if you were watching then, you had that level, you had that trend line, you have the OC retest that he always bangs the drum on, and then that is what set us up. Right now, we are currently sitting at 107,820. You can see that we're only in the transition ribbon. We haven't even fired off a blue ribbon yet. So be very careful that this can turn right back down into a continuation of downside, or it might go flat. Because if you look here, we had this nice run up, right? At the very end, it went into the blue out of the transitional pink, and then it started to come down once it got hot, came all the way down, went sideways, and then down again because it was flat under that resistance. We could see something similar to that, but given that Trump's coming in, we'll see if it's a buy the rumor, sell the news, or if we're going to get a Trump pump off of this thing. Right now, the resistance level that I'm watching, 108,410. Before we go any deeper on this, I do want to talk about this chart here, because we did hit into the golden pocket. And I've told you guys on previous videos that these are typically our rejection zones for the tops of the market, and that it is very possible that we could see this Q1 pullback similar to what we saw in 2021, where it then returns back to that golden pocket later in the season and just gives us that. I think we're actually going to see something here more along these lines, where we get in, if we get a Q1 pullback this cycle, where we get a little bit higher to about 116, 117, which would be the 0.66 on these fibs, and then those pull back, and then we have to punch back in later in the quarter again. Of course, there is another scenario here that I've showed you also, and that's going to be these fib cycles here. If we go in here and we turn this off, there we go. Looking at this on breaking the 1-to-1 line here, guys, these are trend-based fibs pulled from cycle highs to cycle lows, and they give you the projection. So this was built off of the backs of this previous cycle, okay? Just like this whole section was built off the previous cycle. So when we break that 1-to-1, we do typically head at least to the 1618. You can see it there. We did it over here. We did it also. That was a horrible line, but you guys know what I'm saying. And there we did also before we had a pullback. Looking at the current cycle on that 1.618 golden pocket extension, guys, that would be a $167,000 Bitcoin. So that is ultimately my target that I'm watching for this cycle. Just wanted to bring those up and point them out to you. I'm going to jump over and check out the chat. OC, I'm going to kick it over to you, and let's talk about what levels you're watching in the next, say, this first week of Bitcoin's Trump presidency. What you got for me, bro?
Absolutely. So let's get first talking about if it's going to be a pump and dump, right? I do believe that it's going to be a pump, but including the dump. Let me just give you the heads up here. I was telling you guys that wait for the weekend for the market to reveal its way. Let's go to the 4 hours really quick, and we saw it throughout the weekend that we had these beautiful candles. Then a liquidity grab, and finally look at this massive candle that played out in here, right? A retracement right down here. Let me show you a retracement right down here. It is possible, and I think it's going to happen. I mean, we're having a little bit of a hammer here. This is a little bit to be worried about, but I think ultimately we're gonna keep moving upwards throughout this rest of the month. I would say within the 10 left or 10 days, 5 days, last week of the month, right? So let me just draw a little bit of what I think could be happening, something like that. Let's go to the 15 minutes and start also looking at what happened there. So, first, let me clear this up and let's go back to the 15 minutes. There we go. And for the most immediate resistance and support and resistances, we're making a little bit of a bull flag, right? We are having this purple blue flag, bull flag, but also look at these other two trend lines in red, right? If you take a look at these other two trend lines, they are much more in synchrony with the price action in here. And as you can see, as soon as we get within that channel, we get rejection, right? As soon as we get with that channel, we get rejection. So the only thing that I'm still going to be bullish about it is if we break out, retest, and then off we go, right? Because if not, I think the next possible movement is going to be visiting these lower areas in here and maybe trickle down for a little bit more while today we take presidency. And then I don't think that we're going to be hitting back these areas right down here, but we could be making another support area right here. And that is based off, and let me bring it up. There we go. And that is based off my money flow and this other trend line here. So how far could it go? Well, then for me, it's going to be somewhere between TP number one for re-entry, 104,500, and the next one, 102,600. Those areas around those areas, right? Another important piece, it is, of course, the same money flow. This stays, but also this is a area of ranging. So as you can see, we could have maybe a little bit of a fake out and still make that higher low and ultimately start moving to the upside. So I believe, and this is based on that we are breaking to the upside on our oscillator, I believe that Trump is bringing a lot of power. Still, remember what we talked about Friday. If our position wanted to hurt on Trump's followers, well, what would be the best area to twist or the best area to make it hurt? I would say the less amount of money and the most efficient will be crypto. So I think that's why we're having those either both taking profits and market manipulation. Before I wrap this up, let me just clear a little bit of my drawings. There we go. And finally, let me just bring out my liquidation areas here. This is also what we're going to be looking at virtual once we get there. Let's just give it a second here. And we're going to be seeing a little bit of that migration that we talked about Friday, right? That migration, it is the bulls getting closer to be liquidated, right? Or the shorts getting closer to be liquidated, which makes the price action want to go against it. So far, we are closer to liquidated tops than liquidated bottoms, but still remember what happened here. The same thing happened here. Once we were up there, it was easier to liquidate up, but as you can see, we went down and liquidated downwards, right? So other than that, I think that is what is going to be ultimately defining the direction. I think we're going to be ultimately going up into February. Still March, I think it's going to be a difficult month for Bitcoin. Other than that, turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go take a look at Trump coin. I want to talk about that and look at some TA on that. You can do some TA. It's very difficult when you've got a very short time frame that it's been out. It's a brand new meme coin. Obviously, a lot of volatility is going to take play there. But I do want to go talk about that token because that's what started this entire weekend off of the high volatility. And I do think, guys, honestly, that today is going to be a super volatile day. I think we're going to, throughout the entire day, be very careful with your trades. You're going to see some bad wipeouts. Some bad wipeouts is what we're going to see today. So let's go jump over to the chart and let's check out what I'm seeing on Trump coin right now. There we go. Little Trump coin here. I do have us currently set right now at the R zone. That's my resistance zone that I'm watching right now. It is coming in between, let's see here. Top side $53.75, so 53.75, and then the bottom side of that 51.20. Eric Wallen actually requested that I do this, so Eric Wallen, here's your TA, bro. Here's the reason that I'm watching this. I do have some fibs here. This is top to bottom fibs being pulled from the top here down to the bottom. And you can see we got a beautiful rejection on the golden pocket off of this. This is why I say it is possible to do TA if you understand, retracement and fib theory. So there it is. Right now, though, guys, we got to break below this 382. We got a small fake out here below the 236, and we pulled back up to the 382 again. Also in line for that confluence here, you can see we're getting some bounces of support off of it, is our fast mover quantum reactor and our dynamic reactor, both overlapping right here at about $52, about $52.85. That is giving us a lot of support right now. I'm still holding a trade right now on Trump. I closed out my big one that I paid off my car with on Saturday, went back into another one. And that other one I actually did based on these fibs right here, Platinum Pocket. This is a bottom to top fib that's being pulled from the pullback retest here. We had a nice, pump up, pullback consolidation, and it pumped again. We can see that pulling this from the bottom to the top there, that we had a lot of play in the golden pocket and platinum pocket ranges. So I got in on another platinum pocket bounce. I think it was right here. On Sunday, right here last night. So I am on that. I'm still on the upside. I think this thing goes higher. I think the money flows back today with Trump's inauguration, and there's a little struggle back and forth, that volatility, creating a lot of liquidity and profits, those profits rolling back in the Trump coin. And I think that will continue on. Right now, we are getting a break out of that resistance zone, guys. I'm telling you. Just told you we had some nice support here on the fast mover quantum reactor and the dynamic reactor, and I do think we're going to see upside movement on this. I am in a long entered on the platinum pocket, so there's your TA for that. Let's look at the oscillator on it. The oscillator's just crazy on this thing today, guys. It's too much volatility for these things to truly play out. Like you can see that we fired the bottom here, did another pullback from liquidity grabbing liquidity beneath that wick before it moved back up. We did get a VWAP overbought or oversold that triggered right here. Halfway up through this run, it would be this pullback here to the 618. That was a good bounce there. But right now we have the money flow and everything pointing back down again, despite price going up. So be very, very, very careful, guys. Right now we've got price moving up here. We've got this moving down here. Guess what that's going to do? That is going to give us another divergence firing off to the upside. You can see here when it's going up and this is coming down, that's a bearish divergence. When we have this coming up and this coming down, that's going to be a bullish divergence. So we're going to get a lot of volatility today. Just be very careful on this token. Be aware of these levels. If you want to take a quick screenshot of that, I'll even move this over. There is your screenshot. Grab it quick. 3, 2, 1, and we're back to the show. There's your screenshot today. Excuse me, of the Trump coin. So crazy token. What world do we live in right now? Oh, see, you want to take a look at Solana? Because, Melania token and Trump token both built on the Solana network, and they had some congestion issues, which means they had a lot of fees being made for the Solana miners, first of all. Second of all, I think that there is some more plays to be made on Solana off of all of this. And if they come out with the Baron coin, good Lord. OC, what do you got for us, bro?
Let's take a look at Solana then. There we go. I got it right here. And let's bring it up. So Solana is not looking good, to be honest. I mean, in fact, let's just do a little bit of heads up here. Looking at virtual, it almost looks like the same, right? We're seeing that dead cat bounce. And if we go to AI 16, a little bit of more of the same, right? Same dead cat bounce right there, right? I mean, I know Solana has nothing to do with AI. There's a main difference in here, which is this low that we're forming, right? We still need to be careful, because if we don't make a higher high at this point, I think we could be in trouble, right? And again, we're talking about 15 minutes. Let's go to the 4 hour just to have a clean picture here, right? We're going back down here and we're forming what I showed you with the other coins, right? A lower high with this big absorption zone, which is something that I don't really like. Let's also be completely black and white at this point. Let's just wait a little second for TradingView just to, has a little space to think, because I want to show you the dashboard here. All right, perfect. The dashboard is still green. We are bullish, right? We are above the zero line. We're bullish. Our money flow is still green. We're bullish. But look at the magnificent 7, or true 7, sorry. through 7. It's flattening out right down there, showing us a little bit more of a bearish pressure. So the thing is that we are right now between a rock and a hard place, right? I'm going to be saying that we are forming symmetrical triangle on higher time frames here. I'm also going to be ignoring the first fact that I told you guys, which was the dead cat bounce until we break this base. If we break this base, you know what's coming. It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest. Most likely, we're not going to be holding the dynamic reactor in the second retest. And most likely, we're also going to be falling below our seal line. But so far, we still a little bit of hoping here. And that hope area will be somewhere around 238. Let me bring out my indicators to show you also what I'm seeing here with support and resistances. Big support, big resistances are right here where my dynamic reactor is going to be. Adding to, we're going to be holding the first bounce before the next movement, right? Let me just clear this up. And once again, we're forming the breakout retest. So everything is pointing that we're either making this symmetrical triangle, or we could be finding some new support right below here. This is how I'm going to be playing out. If I hit this trend line here and I'm above the zero line, I'm going to be longing it. Very tight stop loss. Or if we break out, I'm going to be waiting for 1 or 2 candle retest and longing it once again. If I get stopped out of this position, because absolutely I'm going to be longing that position, well, then my next entry is going to be all the way down here, and then my next re-entry for a short is going to be right here for a continuation downwards. But other than that, that's what I got, Piper.
Awesome. Two notes here. Shout out to Kelly Kellum in the house. My man, Kelly Kellum in the house with us. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for joining us here this morning. And then also, yes, you are right, RMT. I misspoke. I said miners. I meant validators. The people making fees is what I was referring to. But yes, guys, Trump right now getting a pullback and a bounce on that resistance zone that's now support. I'm going to show that real fast. Sitting here, I'm on a 5-minute chart actually on this right now. That's what I had to pull to get enough data. But I want to show you also, I pulled a fixed range volume profile while OC was over there chatting it up about Sol. Guys, our fixed range volume profile here has a massive volume node right here running. That's the point of control coming across. We're bouncing on that too on the top of this. So little confluence there for the top of that support box now that I didn't even have up on the previous chart. Keep in mind, we do have another massive volume node right in this range here where we created that nice little wedge and then broke it to the downside there. So which by the way, was opposite of the direction that it should have gone. So OC, let's go talk about some other, what other tokens are you watching right now? We had a request for virtuals. So I'm going to do virtuals. If you want to go ahead and pull it up first, and then I'll pull it up on mine. We'll see what we see. And we can just talk about for, the next 5 minutes or so, different virtual AIXBT, AI16Z, coin. We'll talk about those, but go ahead and kick it off with virtuals. I'll come in right behind you on that. What do you got for it, man?
Absolutely. So Victor's not looking that good still. We are on the 4 hours and we see that big dead cat bounce here. Usually indicates that we're going to keep going downwards. There's one caveat here, and it's that we have a huge amount of support right here. I'll show you in a little bit. But remember, a dead cat bounce is only a dead cat bounce when we start losing the support here. So we still have some room to go down here, and then maybe just work it out over time as we go down and finally break above, which could be saving us, and then maybe making that breakout retest with maybe another node in here to keep going upwards, right? But that will be the bullish scenario. I think I think that's how it's going to be playing out. But still, we cannot take a look at that. We have another big area of support all the way down here, which could be meaningful if we have that final retracement. Now it's time for me to start adding my indicators, right? Look at, and let me just clear up my, there we go, my charts, and look at the amount of supports that we have here. We have one support, another support. liquidity area, liquidity area. Look at that. We're building up in here, not only with support resistance and liquidity areas. We also can take a look at something else like, oh, come on. There we go. Our VPVR, where we have a big area, well, that's small, but a big area of smart money entry. Usually that is for reversals, right? And then we have a next to a big area of arranging. So what's it going to be? Are we just going to graze this area and bounce up? Or are we going to be doing, as I told you guys, that we're going to be bing bonging between this area and this area? This is the VPVR. It is the main reason that my base prediction it is that we are going to be bouncing or correcting over time for the bullish scenario, right? Let's just wrap it up with some other things in here, which is predictive ranges and order blocks. Order blocks, again, having a big area of supporting here. Something that I don't really like is only 65% bullish, right? It's high because it has a ton of orders there, which means that we could be multiple touches before we annihilate it. Or remember that we can see this volume migrate up or migrate down because those are untaken orders. They just open positions, all right? Once again, just to wrap it up, predictive ranges, area of ultimate entry here, and area of base support. If we are able to make it a bust down here, I think this is going to be a big area of entry. But if not, you know what it comes, previous monthly low. Still, just to make sure that I'm clear, I am having a look of possible entry right up here or right down here at 234 if I see ribbon breaking above the zero line, or at the very least, money flow getting to the grid. Other than that, I'll just wait it out.
Boom shakalaka!
OC dropping those entries there. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. By the way, OC. Before I jump into see what I'm seeing on virtuals and the levels I'm seeing, OC username said that you look more tan, or maybe it's the lights. You just don't go get an 8 level on your spray tan like Ross did. Alexander Gino. So no, you got a really good tan in your time sitting over there with salmonella and poolside. Oh Lord! Shout out to Ben Redden in the chat right now. Let's go take a look at what I'm seeing on virtuals right now, guys. I got some trend-based fibs, and you know I like my trend chart. Let's go see. There we go. You guys are here now with me. Looking at virtuals, what I'm seeing here, guys, we had this. So let's look at this on the 4-hour. Let me turn off the fixed range volume profile for a second. Let's just talk about the trend-based fibs. I'm even going to turn off the power. I turned off the power chart prime. Watch this. This is a trend-based fib pulled off of the trend of higher lows and higher highs, right? And so you can see we have 3 sets of fibs here. This is your base level of fibs. We have an extension of the phase 1 and an extension of phase 2. Guys, we rejected in phase 2 of the platinum pocket beautifully. We came down. We had a retest here of the golden pocket for further rejection. Pretty much caught our bottom back again in the platinum pocket, rejected back in the phase 2 top, and now we are back here with another wick before this bounce up between the platinum pocket of phase 1 and the 236 of phase 2 right there. I am actually watching for us to come down and hit the golden pocket again, and that would be my entry at about $2 to $2.15. You could ladder in on that level that OC talked about, which would be in my platinum pocket, and then add to it on the golden pocket. But the reason that I think we may go down to that level is because of the Piper Sniper Kit. Piper Sniper Kit here is showing us a nice range here. This is auto pulled fibs, guys. These are my personally designed indicators made by Chart Prime. You can get them by using my link down below, or you can get Chart Prime Plus, and with Plus you get access to all of the influencer, content creator indicators, Jay Bravo's, mine, Eric Crown's, all of us. So we now have this level here, though, that's coming in off of these auto-pulled fibs on the Piper Sniper Kit here. This is called the Kill Box, and I'm actually watching this. It's about $2.10 on the bottom side, $2.30 on the top side for this. If we overlay that into the fibs, you'll see It's coming in right in between. That's why I said you might want to do that split entry, platinum pocket there with the top of the golden pocket, bottom of the golden pocket on the Piper Sniper kit falling perfectly in my trend-based fibs here. So that's what I'm seeing on virtuals. OC, let's kick it back over to you. We got about 9 more minutes. What do you got for us, bro?
There we go. Sorry about that. I need to go attend the door. I had AI 16Z. Something about this one is looking very much as everything else in the AI world, but we also need to take, I think we should not be taking our eye out of AI. Based on how we're evolving, I think we are very, very, very close to a new update on LLMs, so large language models, right? And this might bring up, once again, the pumps to the upside. Nonetheless, speculation aside, let's also bring up my indicators just to see where do we have areas of support. So right here, we are right there on one of those, right? I thought at the very beginning, look at that we are going to be stopping at this area, and we did for a little second in here, right? We did for a little moment in here. It's time for me just to remove it. It seems like the bearish pressure, it is working its way down here. Let me just bring up our liquidations and start seeing those allocations. Look at that. After these areas right here, we have a space and a big area of support, right? So I believe that we could be having one last movement right down here before a dramatic push to the upside. So we're getting close in here, and maybe we could see it right here on this week, throughout this weekend. Why is that? Trump is taking presidency. I am expecting a pump on Bitcoin. Money is not going to just come from anywhere, right? It's got to come from somewhere. And at this point, I just don't see money coming from Forex or coming from other spaces or oh man, it just went out of my head. Sorry, I'm thinking Spanish right now. Well, coming from other markets into the crypto space. So that means that for me, rotation of capital needs to happen within same crypto space, and that is gonna come from things that are losing hype. So I believe AI 16Z is going to be one of those that had a beautiful run out, and now it's giving it all back before we start taking the next possible movements in here. And yes, I could be aiming as a very, very nice, look at that, 149% of the best case scenario entries if we are able to jump in here and then flip out the rebound to the upside here. So this is one of the things that I'm looking at. Do not put your eyes out or take your eyes out completely out of the AI scenarios, because I think they still had some potential. That's what I'm having. Piper, let me try it back to you.
Yeah, we had a Rosh Karen said, hey, what about Melania? Let's go check out Melania. I'm looking here for a good chart on it right now, and we'll check out a little Melania. Let's do that. Let's see here. I've got to find a good exchange that's got some decent history, and since it just launched, it's going to be very small. So I want to make sure I get a good one. It's not going to be crypto.com. Let's try it on KCEX. That's what I did Trump on, and it had a pretty good one. Yeah, this is better. This is decent. So let's go check this out here. Let's pull a fib. This is just going to be a normal fib retracement here. Yeah, there you go. Platinum pocket, golden pocket rejection. We do have a strong sell indicator that has popped here on the chart prime trend indicator says strong sell. That is moving to the downside after we had the buy here, which came up and rejected perfectly on the 618 of the fibs. Let's look at the oscillators. Oscillator gave us a downtrend there also. It looks like we're closing in on the 0 line right now. It looks like we may break that. Money flow is coming down. I think that money is getting ready to shift out of this even harder. It pumped on the initial and had another rally there, and now it's starting to come down. We're creating a series of lower lows, lower highs. Just watch for it to break this 887 at 7426. $7.24, I'll say. That would be the hey, we're heading down for maybe a double bottom. You could watch for that level. Now, if we do come back up here, and we reject here on the 618 about $9.30 to $8.98. So $9 to $9.30 range, we'll say. If we come up here and we get a rejection here, you can easily set a short on this, and it is for trade on Blowfin. Check out our link down below. If you do not have a Blowfin account, it enters you in for all kinds of giveaways. If you use our link, we give away USDT, NFTs, all kinds of stuff every single month if you are a Blowfin member. So go down there and check out that link. If you want to trade it on Blowfin, you can go there. But if we get that rejection there, I would be setting an entry for that trade there, and then set your stop loss right here above that level here of the previous range. You also got the dynamic reactor coming down through there too right now. So that would be where I would watch for that. Let me just go do a quick look here. And let me put all of this on the 15-minute. So all of my indicators are now on the 15-minute. And I'm going to go grab Melania here on KCEX and see how it is looking right now. Okay, 15-minute. Nothing, not looking good there. Oscillator's not horrible. Is it this one? Is this one I was just on? This might be the one I was just on. No, it was this one. That's the one. Yeah. On the 15-minute here, looking at this, it looks like we are about to round back down also, guys. You can see here how the Heikenashis on the RSI prime is starting to get low. Like I said, very difficult to do TA on something with the indicators. Algorithms need a little bit of history and data. That's why I did it on this one where I did my own fibs and pulled it manually. But yeah, right now, looking a little weak. That's a 5-minute. Let me drop it on a 5-minute over here just to see if we get any different picture. Oh, yeah, we're getting rejection here perfectly on my 3D trend. That is another indicator from Chart Prime. 3D trend gave us that resistance bar there. We also rejected from it there. Looks like we're going into a red box on the histogram. Signal line is starting to flip over on the MACD normalized, brought to you by Chart Prime. And we're getting big candles here for downside movement on the RSI Heikenashii candles. So money flow, again, down. Volume's up. But that's money flow is telling us a lot of that volume is selling volume. So that's what I'm seeing there on Melania. We are at the bottom of the hour, OC. We've got a show myself. Again, if you guys did not see it earlier, let me go here. News Cam, OC guy, pop it up here with me. Let's talk about this real fast, guys. We're going to be doing this at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Crypto Coin Mindsets channel. Kicked off by Facebook. That was so weird. Facebook. Google kicked me off. So if you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat. I think I'm back. It looks like I'm back, but yeah. So the question was asked about Trump having his own meme coin. Is that allowed? Is the president allowed to have a coin? And I said, if it's under a foundation, there's all kinds of loopholes and stuff that those guys can do. So, but it looks like I'm back. It looks like I'm back. There's only 11 people here now. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this off over to right now. We got live with Randy Hipper. Apologize about that. I don't know. Like, I checked, internet was good. Everything was good. I just literally had a disconnect from Google, from YouTube. So crazy. I see I'm back. All right. Well, hopefully I didn't get demonetized for saying anything today and got blacklisted. Hope I didn't get flagged, but looks like yes, it's time for us to head out of here before I say something that I shouldn't be saying. I don't know. That's weird. Like, internet was fine and everything. So, Alexander G, let's go ahead and let's drop that link one more time. I don't know if you did for the show today, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now we're going to hop out of here and head on over to Randy Hipper, the frat house. Make sure you guys drop those graduation caps over there. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And if I don't see you at 11:30 on Crypto Coin Mindsets show. Later, guys.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.